the main reasons we're here is, as you all know, there's the G8 and G20 meetings that are happening this weekend, and well, there's a lot of reason to be talking about the environment and the climate. G8 and G20 countries are, the leaders are very responsible for not meeting Kyoto agreements, increasing mining and free trade and environmental destruction. So that is why we are here today. I just want to highlight how great it is that so many people are coming out, so many people are united, that as each day the mobilization goes on, we grow stronger and stronger. People are coming into town. It's going to be a really exciting week, and today is definitely one of very many exciting days. So I also just want to say that we have a lot of imagery going out. We have a lot of ways to communicate our message, and it's been day 3 of the mobilizations, and we have seen security and cops and police here taking away these messaging. On Monday, banners were taken away at the rally that was organized, and we have had people being followed by cops as they leave protests, people being followed by cops as they come. I just heard that we had two people get out of a cop car dressed in regular clothing. We definitely don't want this, and we definitely think there's no need to do this. We are here in the park, we are allowed to be here, we are allowed to hold people accountable for the injustices they are causing, and I also want to present our first speaker, who actually has a very personal story to share with everyone. And her name is Laura Lucretia. She is a community development, she works in community development and children's gardening in the downtown core, and she has a very important story to share. Laura?
Okay, now get out of the way, for God's sakes, lady.
You'll get lots of time to get a picture of the banner, don't worry.
She could have stood to the side.
Hi, my name is Lara, and I'm here to tell you how I experienced the over-policing that's going on in our city right now. On Monday, June 21st, police falsely arrested, harassed, and intimidated me near a demonstration against the G8 and the G20. I was across from the park where a small group was gathered. Police cornered me, prevented me from entering my workplace, and wrongly charged me with possession of burglary tools. The burglary tools in question were my keys to my workplace. Police detained me and held me for several hours in the Toronto Film Studio, which has been converted into a temporary detention center. All the charges were dropped, and I was released unconditionally when the detective on my case found out that the burglary tools I was charged with possessing were my keys. I work in community development and children's gardening in the downtown core. I've never been arrested before. On Monday, I experienced firsthand the excessive police presence in Toronto in the lead up to the G8 and the G20. I was by myself. I was not at the rally when I was cornered by 10 or 12 police officers. They refused to listen to me when I explained that I was authorized to enter the building. To my knowledge, the police did not follow the usual Toronto police procedures during my arrest. For instance, the arresting officer was not present when my photo was taken, and I also noticed that personal information was removed from my cell phone without my knowledge or consent. Police targeted me, intimidated me, and fabricated charges against me because shortly before my arrest, I had provided one of the demonstrators with a thin bamboo pole from which to hang a flag. I witnessed the police throw the demonstrator on the ground to seize the bamboo flagpole. After that, a large group of police cornered me and arrested me on trumped-up charges. The flag in question is a symbol for Indigenous unity. This incident is not only about police intimidation and the excessive police presence during the G20, it's indicative of how Indigenous people are treated by the government and by police forces. I find it unbelievable that while World Cup soccer fans are parading through the city carrying all manner of flags, a Native person is not allowed to fly their flag on Native land.
Shame!
Shame! Even though the police were successful in scaring me, I decided to speak out against being falsely arrested. We need to speak out to stop the excessive policing and the overreacting of police during the G20 summits. I hope that people are not scared away from coming to fill the streets and raise our voices for justice. I hope to see all the flags of unity, all the Indigenous flags, all the rainbow flags, the black flags, and the pink flags flying in celebration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leah. And she said beautifully. There are people being beaten, there are people being followed, there are people being monitored, and who are they trying to protect? And this time we're not saying it sarcastically, because they're not protecting people in Toronto, they're not protecting G20 leaders who are not even here. Who are they protecting? Why are they in our city? Why are they preventing us from holding banners and placards and having rallies and demonstrations that are holding the G20 leaders accountable? This is unacceptable. And we are here today for environmental and climate justice, and we do not want these messages to be taken away. This is not protesters versus cops. This is justice movements and the G20 holding them accountable. Abolish the G20, abolish the G8. They should not be meeting in this city. Okay. And if you want to know more, there is going to be a press conference at 4 p.m. About detentions at the police headquarters. So if you want to know more, there will be another press conference. Thank you. And now we're going to go on to talk about environmental climate justice. I want to invite one of the spokespeople for the Toxic Tour and the People's Assembly that will be happening this evening, Kimya Gomeshi. She's a climate justice and environmental justice organizer based here in Toronto.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming out today. I just wanted to let you know what's happening. So as you can see this morning, we're having an amazing, creative, Toxic Tour of Toronto. And what we're doing is raising awareness about the social and environmental impacts of the global mining industry. And Canada is a global leader in mining. 75% of mining companies are based in Canada. And as we all know, the world's largest and most destructive industrial project on Earth, the Alberta tar sands, is also home to Canada. Shame! So, by the Canadian government, the G20 is subsidizing oil, gas, and mining. They are essentially condoning human rights atrocities around the world, environmental destruction, and the death and displacement of millions of people due to the climate crisis. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going for a tour of Toronto and visiting some of our favorite companies who love to exploit our people and our planet. And we have speakers from mine-affected communities, from 3 First Nations community members who are impacted by the proposed Enbridge pipeline developments in BC. We have a speaker from Guatemala and a speaker from Kenya who will speak about the climate crisis and how it's affecting their countries. And yeah, so expect about a 3-hour tour, March of Toronto. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got amazing floats, chants, samba bands, costumes. That's it. And then in the evening, we've got the People's Assembly on Climate Justice, where we're going to be talking about how human rights and climate change are connected. Canadians feel that climate change is something that's in the future, but it's right here, right now. Millions of people are being affected by this crisis right now, and it's due to our industrialization, our development. The people being disproportionately affected are least responsible for this crisis. That's what we're going to be talking about now. We're going to talk about real solutions for our communities, for Toronto and across Canada, that consider that we need social equity as we're addressing the climate crisis. Thank you.